Let's start by playing an E minor chord. So place your second finger on the 5th string 2nd fret and your third finger on the 4th string 2nd fret. And what we'll do is pick each string individually. We'll start with the 6th string, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. And now let's strum all of the strings. For the next chord, we're going to do an E chord. So you keep this E minor fingering and you add your first finger on the 3rd string, 1st fret. So that's the note where we're changing right there. So let's pick each string individually, starting with the 6th string. And now let's strum all of the strings. So there's your E chord. So let's go back to an E minor. You lift off your first finger. Now let's go back to E. Okay, the third chord we'll do is an E7. So to get to an E7 from an E chord, all you do is lift off your third finger. Okay, so we have an open 4th string. Okay, so let's pick each string individually, starting with the 6th string. And now let's strum. Okay, so let's go over these 3 chords we have so far. E minor, E, and E7. Now let's get into an A minor chord. So let's go back to the E minor fingering. Add your first finger so you have an E chord. Now to get to an A minor chord, what we do is move all 3 fingers down 1 string. So your second finger's on the 4th string, third finger's on the 3rd string, first finger's on the 2nd string. What we'll do is strum from the 5th string down. Okay, so we don't hit the 6th string. We'll just strum from this string down. Okay, and let's pick each string individually. So that's your A minor chord. Now let's review these 4 chords. We have E minor. Add your first finger on the 1st fret for E. E7, lift off your 3rd finger. Add your 3rd finger back on so you have an E chord again. And let's move all 3 fingers down 1 string and we get an A minor chord. We strum from the 5th string down. Okay, let's do this one more time. Back to E minor. E chord, add your first finger on the 1st fret. E7, lift off your 3rd finger. Add your 3rd finger back on. Move everything down a string. We strum from the 5th string down. This is an A minor chord. Okay, and as you get used to these fingerings, your switching will get faster. E minor, E, E7, A minor. Now let's get into a C chord. So let's finger an A minor again and move your 3rd finger from this 3rd string 2nd fret up to the 5th string 3rd fret. And let's strum from the 5th string down. And pick each string. And there's your C chord. Let's switch back to an A minor. 3rd finger goes back to the 3rd string 2nd fret. And back to C. Now let's get into a G7 chord. Move your first finger from the 2nd string down to the 1st string, same fret. So you're on the 1st fret there. And these 2 fingerings go up 1 string. So your 3rd finger's on the 6th string 3rd fret, and your middle is on the 5th string 2nd fret. Let's strum all of the strings. Now let's switch back to a C. Bring your first finger back to the 2nd string. These 2 go down one string, 5th string down, and back to G7. Now let's play a G chord. First, let's finger the G7 chord, lift off your 1st finger, and add your 4th finger on that 1st string, 3rd fret. Okay, so now let's strum all of the strings. And let's pick each string. Let's switch back to a G7, lift off your 4th finger, add your 1st finger on that 1st string. And let's switch back to G. Let's try an alternate fingering for G. So instead of playing the G chord with your 3rd, 2nd, and 4th fingers, let's try this. Put your middle finger goes on the 6th string, 1st finger goes on the 5th string, and your 3rd finger goes on the 1st string. So this is an alternate fingering for a G chord. Okay, so it's good to use this fingering when we're switching to the next chord, the D chord, because the D chord uses the same fingers. If you're doing G to a G7, you don't want to use this fingering because there's a lot more movement and it's a lot harder. It's better to do this finger for G when you're switching to a G7. Okay, so it all depends on what chord you're switching to. The key is to minimize movement to make it easier to get from one chord to the next. Let's get into the D chord. So from a G chord, what you want to do is bring your 3rd finger up to the 2nd string, bring your middle to the 2nd fret on the 1st string, and your 1st finger to the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Okay, so this is what we have. And let's strum from the 4th string down. So we don't play the 6th string, we don't play the 5th string, we strum from the 4th string down. And picking each string. Now let's switch back to a G. 3rd finger goes down to the 1st string on that 3rd fret, and these two go back up. So your middle's on the 6th string, 3rd fret, first finger's on the 5th string, 2nd fret. Let's strum all of the strings. Switching back to a D, 3rd finger goes up to the 2nd string. These two, middle goes on the 2nd fret on the first string, 1st finger goes on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Strumming from the 4th string down, picking. Two more chords left. Let's finger the D chord, and we'll get into the next chord, which is an A7. So let's lift off the 3rd finger and bring your 1st and 2nd fingers up one string. So your 1st finger's on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and your middle is on the 2nd string, 2nd fret. Let's strum from the 5th string down and pick each string. Now let's switch back to D. Bring your 1st and 2nd fingers back down a string, and your 3rd finger onto that 2nd string, 3rd fret. Strum from the 4th down. And back to A7. Lift off your 3rd. These two go up a string. 5th string down. Let's try another fingering for the A7 chord. So right now we're using the 1st and 2nd fingers. So what we can do instead is use your middle finger for the 4th string 2nd fret, and your 3rd finger for the 2nd string 2nd fret. So instead of using 1 and 2, we're using 2 and 3. Let's strum from the 5th string down. As I said before, it just depends on what chord you're switching to. When you're switching to a D, it's probably easier to do the 1st finger for A7. Now with the 2nd fingering, it's a lot easier to switch to an A chord. So here's A7, the 2nd fingering we just did. To get to an A chord, all you do is bring your 1st finger on the 3rd string 2nd fret. So just place your 1st finger on that 3rd string 2nd fret, strum from the 5th string down, pick each string. Okay, now let's lift off that 1st finger so you have an open 3rd string, strum, there's your A7, and let's switch back to an A.